Is this you? Do you struggle with the hit game Battlefield 6? This UI is horrible.
It sure is. Agreed.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself accusing your opponent of cheating regularly?
Sorry, I had to kill this elite hacker who's been stealing all my weapons.
Do you struggle with enemy tanks, planes, or attack helicopters? Dude, I take it back. We should just do more war. This is sick.
Yeah, right? Is war actually this fun?
Do you personally identify as an attack helicopter?
This is a femboy. This is a trans girl.
This is the AH-64 Apache.
Congratulations. If you found that joke funny in the past or currently find it funny now, your estrogen will arrive in 4 business years with a tech tree character select screen. While some trans femmes go down the cars or programming tech trees, we're gonna focus on the competitive FPS tech tree. Hi, I'm Gwen Posting, gamer with anger issues. I used to struggle with attaching my self-worth to the outcome of a video game. In fact, I still do.
And if a white girl gets them up you.
Oh, I'm back. Fuck off. Get out of my lobby. I haven't fixed it. Fucked up. Oh, and there's another guy.
Also, Claire's ridiculous.
Did you guys know there's 70 million guys on this fucking building on A? Did you know that? But you can rest easy knowing it wasn't your fault. By the end of this video, you'll be well on your way to becoming an Apache helicopter. Here's how to play Battlefield 6 like a good girl.
Gwen,
Yeah,
look
run,
at the chat.
pussies!
Gwen, look at the chat.
Fuck yeah! In full disclosure, the allied cishets can watch this video too. I don't discriminate. But you do have to give me a head rub. Did you know you can give you and your teammates walls in Battlefield? Well, you sort of can. It's called spotting, and it's a quintessential Battlefield mechanic that's been around for decades. When you're ADS'd and aiming at an opponent, hit Q on mouse and keyboard. If you're on a controller, hit left bumper or L1 for Xbox and PlayStation controllers, respectively. When you do this, a little orange dot will appear over the opponent you were just aiming at, and that dot will remain over their pretty little head for a short but not inconsequential while. But it also reveals that position on the minimap. You spotting that IFV from a distance can be the difference between your teammate on the capture point retreating to fight another day or getting blown apart into a dozen pieces by the Chunkinator 5000. Now that I brought up the minimap, here's something else you should do. Look at the goddamn minimap. You need to get in the habit of occasionally glancing at the minimap while you're out of a gunfight. Not just because it can help you plan where you should go, but also because it can save your ass. Enemies can appear on the minimap if they're relatively close to you while firing their weapons. Yes, even if they're suppressed, although that distance is shorter and therein more advantageous to them. It's also crucial to look at where your teammates are. Supports should congregate towards big blue teamfight blobs to heal and revive teammates. Assaults and recons can potentially look for gaps and hit enemy blobs from the side to harass and distract them. Everything in Battlefield is context dependent. The minimap is how you gain that context.
You can even change the size of the minimap. To do so, hit the gear icon here, click on HUD, scroll down to minimap, and you'll see a whole bunch of minimap options. You can make it as big or as small as you like, and you can even adjust the view distance. So the view distance that you get in a jet is something that you can obtain while you're infantry as well.
When you pick a class in Battlefield, you have a job to do. DICE has done a good job of addressing the complaint from previous Battlefield entries, that being the individual classes had lost their distinct identities. This Battlefield features a lot more modularity for the classes, while ensuring each one remains true to their spirit. Each class gets 2 gadget slots, and they have a list of gadgets to choose from that are specific to them. You can't run Stinger missiles on Recon, you can't run the laser designator on the Engineer. This makes the game more team-based and forces you to work together. Recon lasers the helicopter, Engineer shoots it down with their missiles. To do your job more effectively, you have to know what your class brings to the table. The Assault class takes gunfights and objectives. You can't heal or resupply teammates, but you get a faster draw and exit time out of sprint, noob tubes to blow away bunched up enemies, and proficiency with assault rifles capable of melting at close, medium, and even long range under certain circumstances. You can also equip the deployable respawn beacon. That's right, this thing doesn't belong to the Recon class anymore. You can also equip up to 2 primary weapons by choosing from one of the cross-class compatible types: carbines, shotguns, or DMRs. Most people run a shotgun because having 2 medium-range weapon options is a bit redundant. Take engagements as often and as frequently as possible. You also get stun grenades and telemetry that will tell you when you stun somebody with them. If you aren't on the objective, you're doing it wrong because the Assault class takes objectives faster. The engineer is a supportive class whose job primarily revolves around destroying enemy vehicles and keeping friendly vehicles alive. You should be spending as much time as you can close to friendly ground vehicles, and when you don't have such a thing on the field, you should keep your eyes peeled on the horizon for enemy tanks. You need smart positioning whilst running SMGs. However, they are the closest you will get to the COD sweat options in this game. Don't forget to put down your AT mines, they don't disappear after you die, so there's no reason to be super picky with their placement. You also get throwable anti-vehicle grenades. Hunt down enemy tanks with reckless abandon, and remember, the secret to being a good engineer is backshots. I serve the Omnissiah. The support is no longer just a healer. Now the support class's signature supply pack provides a combination of ammo and health. However, you still get zappy paddles. It goes without saying that these are a non-negotiable. This aspect of the game just comes down to awareness and constantly scanning your field of vision for the lightning bolts of fallen comrades. Your LMGs do not have great DPS up close compared to the sweat SMGs, but you can shoot a lot of rounds without reloading, and you also don't suffer from as much recoil bloom at a distance. LMGs are the only full auto weapons that can reach out and punch opponents at such a clip. The bipod attachment is not a LARP meme. This thing actually cranks. Take advantage of it. Feel free to put a magnified optic on your LMG and full auto snipe from a distance. Carefully placed tap shots can three-shot opponents who aren't paying attention if you shoot them in the head. Something else that's really valuable about the support class is the fact that you get smoke grenades. Please, for the love of God, use them. Use them to cover big crosses so that your teammates can take the objective, especially when there's no cover left. I'm a sniper. I'm a sniper. No, you're not a sniper. Now put this on. The recon class. Recons. Wow. What a revelation. No, but seriously, this class has a sniper rifle, but take a wild guess what the kit features. You get a UAV that will mini-map mark opponents. You'd be shocked how often people just ignore the fact that this thing is within a very obvious line of sight. Most people in Battlefield don't look up. It also has an EMP to zap enemy gadgets through walls. Recons can laze vehicles for friendly engineers with a laser designator or a tracer dart as well. And they still have the handy-dandy Jeep stuff you know and love. Your sniper rifle usually does 80 damage to the chest and 100 with headshots. Aim just a little bit above the head at most distances to account for the bullet drop. You can also zero the sniper scope, but in reality, the distance at which you're going to be using this is pretty significant and not exactly the most common place to take engagements. Every gun in Battlefield is different and has an optimal range at which it will outclass its competition in a 50-50 engagement. An MP7 versus an M60 at 5 meters will always win. Likewise, an M60 at 50 meters will always win. But there are situations in which you have to take a gunfight with the weapon outside of its comfort range. That's what the select fire switch is for. If you've been on Battlefield Twitter for more than 5 seconds, you've probably seen arguments about the difference between full auto spraying and tap firing. Battlefield uses a mechanic called recoil bloom or spread, or whatever you want to call it, to basically turn your weapon into a cone of bullets depending on how long you continuously fire your weapon. You may have heard people complain about the RNG elements involved in this mechanic, and you may have read some smug replies to these people telling them to tap fire. Battlefield does give you a select fire option with the ability to fire semi-automatic from a long distance. The thing is, the distance at which that is actually going to be useful is considerably far away. Oftentimes, the range at which you think you're going to need to tap fire to take an engagement is a lot further away than you may think. Carbines and SMGs are going to need a little bit of tappa-tappa at long distance, whereas assault rifles and LMGs are more forgiving. People who want to G.I. Joe LARP Battlefield are on a bizarre mission to turn this game into Squad or Arma. The truth is, while tap firing is important to take engagements from time to time, those engagements should be done primarily on targets of opportunity. In fact, there are some guns in this game that you should never be trying to take tap fire engagements with from long distance at all. The M4 is one of the sweatier Battlefield 6 weapons. It handles a lot like an SMG with considerably potent DPS at close range, while also occasionally giving you the opportunity to take a tap fighting mid-range engagement. However, if you are tap firing against somebody using a G36 at around 60 meters, the G36 is going to full auto melt you every single time. You need to have a good idea of what ranges you are most and least effective at. You counteract your lack of long-range punch by getting closer to the opponent and fighting with your team, not by playing peekaboo from 150 meters away. Every single engagement is different, and you should never pigeonhole yourself into a particular style of play,
because the circumstances throughout a match are always changing. Use tap firing to keep from reloading and increase accuracy at a distance when you have to. Don't go out of your way to play outside of a weapon's effective range. Lastly, there's no dumb or cheap way to win a game of Battlefield. Battlefield is about using every part of the buffalo. By all means, use the dumb, silly little cuck turd on top of the tank and get MVP by the time the push is done, because you've managed to create enough space for the tank. Gunfights happen all the freaking time, which means that you constantly need to ascertain whether or not somebody can make an effective flank push. That means you can get shot in the side a lot. This is not Call of Duty. You are not going to be in an advantageous gunfight 100% of the time. I'd like to have cover. That'd be cool. Fucking cover would be nice. Like, I'd like to be in one place and then not get shot to like the direct left or the direct right. That would be awesome.
Sound like a bitch.
Finally, just have fun. Use as many little tools as you can and just try to interact with as many different elements of the Battlefield sandbox as possible. Even the stuff that people consider bad probably has a use case scenario that you haven't discovered yet. And just remember, it's never over until it's over.
Oh, fucking hell is shooting at us.
Did you like this video? Want to play Battlefield with me and the girls? Click the link in the description, and if you donate just as little as $1, you get a lifetime ticket to our community game nights. I'm hosting a community game night on November 1st. I'd love to see you there. Deuces.